Also, we cannot pretend that we are some planet between, Saturn and Uranus there. We are part of a community. The world is interlocked. A virus from the depths of the equatorial forest in the Congo will have an impact, in Perth, Australia, and Stockholm, Switzerland, Sweden. So we are all interlinked. Radicalization in Mogadishu will have an impact on the diaspora in London, and so on and so forth. So we have to have a balance. And I think you are enlightened enough to know this, and I look forward to hearing from you on that. Minister Sahra, yes, I hear you. I hear your frustration. I hear your anger. Let me tell you, it's not easy for a politician to resign. I resigned because I was unable to solve that conundrum. If you fault me, you can fault me for trying to do things, not always in the media, not always in the social media, not shifting blame to others. I tried the best I could with all the relevant stakeholders. And when that didn't work, I did the honorable thing, as I said, and I resigned. As for accountability, unless you can come up with criminal negligence or dereliction of duty or some specific thing that you want to accuse me of, let history be the judge. Let history be the judge. Let the others behind me be better than me. I have said in my resignation speech that a parent wants their offspring to be better than them. Even the most lost soul, the most drunken guy in the gutter, wants his son to be better than him. The one in the mafia wants his son to have a legitimate job as a lawyer, as an engineer, as a politician. I want Hirshabelle to be better than me. I say that with conviction. Therefore, I do not hold any regret or any malice or any ill will simply because my ideas were taken. If somebody comes up with a better idea than I had, I will grasp it with both hands. But I hear you. I take your frustration. I know what you are talking about. But at the end of the day, life is not choosing between an ice cream and an apple. It's choosing between bad alternatives. And the only recourse left for me was not good. Incitement, going back to clinic passions, organizing militias. That is not me. That's not who I am. I'm glad I took the decision I took. I am at peace with myself. Mohammed knows I read a lot. I read the first book in 3 years this week. I am at peace with myself. There are others more capable and more trustworthy and more vigorous and more energetic to tackle those problems than me. On the broader issue, especially talking about the role of foreign countries and so on and so forth, I would say we must take responsibility for ourselves. Let's not blame others. Let's not blame other governments, other shadow figures, the colonialists, this and that. The problem is with us. It's staring us in the face. If you do not take care of your family, your wife, your kids, the basic unit of society, your kids will run away from you. Your teenage daughter will run away from you. Your wife will run away from you. Imagine a country If we don't put our house in order, the neighbors will come in. They want to have, now we are talking about running a candidate of their choosing. They will want to take a chunk of our country. That is the reality. Therefore, it is us to fix our problems. And if we don't, that is just the way it is. On the issue of organization, and I can hear in many people's tones and voices that they hark back to the days of a strong nation, a strong Somalia, a central government. You know, in the old days, in earthquake-prone regions, people used to build very strong structures with heavy pillars to ensure that the earthquake does not shake this building. And those buildings survive, you know, earthquakes of, you know, 3, 4 magnitude. Maybe some windows will be broken, but they withstand unless the big one comes in, and then disaster strikes. And now people have learned the best way to cope with earthquakes is to build flexible buildings that sway with the motion of the earth as the earthquake takes effect. Maybe we have to take a similar approach to nation building, a strong central government with a central strong figure saluting the flag every morning. Those days are gone. I know these passions are still with people. What motivates me, what gives me passion is livelihoods, agricultural production, schools, controlling locusts, young girls becoming professors, roads being built. I don't care if that decision is taken in Mogadishu or in Johor or Addis Ababa or Washington. I couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less. In fact, I believe that many of our problems, especially in the region, can be resolved if these borders disappeared. That you could drive from Beledweyne to Gode in 2 hours, do your thing in Jigjiga, come back, go from Kismayo to Garissa, do your shopping there, fly from Mogadishu to Khartoum without obstruction. That is the way to go. I think those people who are harking back to strong central units are swimming against the tide of history. Hamid, thank you very much for your vote of confidence. But first things first. On the issue of one person, one vote, if we really go at it from day one, and I mean day one, in February or thereabouts, whoever is elected president, if President Farmaajo comes back or somebody else is elected, if they commit, not lip service, but commit to one person, one vote in 2024, and do the necessary thing in security, in mobilization, in parliament, in the legal framework, in establishing a constitutional court, in fixing the borders, dispute resolving mechanisms. If we do all the things that we need to do, we can do it. I don't want to be pessimistic. We can do it. But even then, very barely. So we cannot waste a single day in trying to go to a one person, one vote 2024. Any day we lose, any month we lose, any year we lose, we'll simply make sure that we postpone one person, one vote by that much. On the issue of national ID, as you know, Hamid, the good news is Somalis, even nomadic Somalis, are tech savvy. Somalis consume technology at a higher rate than their brethren in other parts of Africa. The social media is very vigorous. Digital platforms are being used for everything from money to accessing government services. In fact, every little organization in Somalia, Journalists Association, Farmers Union, Women's Group, a small village enterprise, the first thing they do is to register their members, and then the next thing they do is get a small machine to churn out plastic IDs there and then to ensure that their members are accounted for. So the infrastructure is there, the base is there. All we need to do is to have a coordinated and coherent strategy between the federal government and the federal member states to have a national database, because I believe that national IDs are, yes, national. You don't have Puntland IDs and Hirshabelle IDs and this ID and that ID. No, you have a national database. We agree on the platform. We ensure its security and safety, and off we go. Somalis travel extensively. Anytime you apply for a passport, the first thing the machine churns out is a digital ID. So we need to strengthen these initiatives, coordinate, agree on the standards, seek help where necessary, and go for it.
Thank you.